Hello, I'm Taren S, and welcome to the House of Witchcraft. I've been doing magic for a very long time now, and I'm so happy to open up my cottage to you. Come on in. Hello! Welcome to the House of Witchcraft, and if you're a new witch, of course, welcome home. So good to see you. I am so excited because today we're going to be talking about beginning witchcraft, which is sort of something that I think we all had to do.
We've all been there. Yeah, we started somewhere.
We've all began there, which is...
What, you mean you didn't pop out of Zeus's
I did not,
head
yeah, I just didn't pop out as
the
the high priestess. I'm so lucky to have the cottage witches joining me. I have Shauna over here on my left, and on my right I've got Rebecca and Dana. And they're going, I have a list of things that I think a beginning witch should do. And I have purposely not told them my list.
It's a secret. How fun.
Because I'm going to read it and let them sort of make comments on their parts of the journey. And so we're going to start with the idea that you've decided you're a witch.
Woo! Good first step.
Good first step.
Yes.
I think that's a good first step. I've decided I'm a witch. Now what am I supposed to do?
Exactly.
I think the first thing you should do is go get a journal.
Yes.
It's really because you're going to need it, all right? And it can be anything.
But let me tell you what, you're not going to know what to do with it at first, and you're going to feel like it's this thing. You're going to want to, I can't write in it unless it's in the perfect handwriting with calligraphy on a pen that has an eagle's feather on it. And you're going to really be a little self-conscious about your journal. I say because I had two journals that I started and then threw away because I just never ended up using it. And one of the best advices that I can give about journals for baby witches is just write in it. Do it. Yes. If you don't know what you want to write in it at first, track every moon that you do for the first year and a day. I did that with my journal. The first part of my book has every full moon, and even if it's just one or two words, I just jotted down what I did. As you do workings, put it in your book.
You need a book, not some file on your computer, because you're going to use and there's going to be times you want to put your book beside your altar.
Yes.
And it's almost becomes like a scrapbook. I take things inside mine. And you know what? I find you really have to remind yourself the first couple times, you got to write this down. Yes. You got to write this stuff down.
I wish I had written down so many things that I'd be like, dang.
Yes.
You know?
Do it. Just have it next to you.
Yeah. I still struggle with that. I'll do something and then I know I should have written it down first.
That does
help. I did not.
She's speaking some wisdom right there. That's another witchy tip that we can give you. Write your ritual down first. Add notes to it if you want, but you will thank yourself.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right. So we got number 1 out of the way. Number 2, finding an interest.
What kind of witch are you?
Well, not so much to find what kind, but what are you leaning towards? Do you like all about herbs? Are you all into the zodiac? Are you like me and you like old dusty books?
So I was into those things before I formulated that I was a witch. So that gave me the idea. Like I was into herbs and I was into tarot and I was into
and then decided you were a witch.
And all of this stuff was very witchy. It was all leaning. If it looks like a duck,
whatever interest. If you were wanting to learn to read tarot cards, then start getting books on tarot cards. If you're wanting to learn about herbs, start getting books on herbs. All right, this is a time to start getting all that reference material together.
Yeah.
All right. And my next one, of course, is learn the basics.
Woo.
I talk about static knowledge, that 20% of what we do is static knowledge. The other 80% is intuition. Intuitive, we've learned to connect to how it feels with us, what we like. That 20% is static knowledge. That is the elements. Learning east is air, south is fire, west is water, the various associations that go about with them. Having a base knowledge of casting a circle, sitting up an altar. And these are things that you can Google it. All right?
Well, and a great thing to do is, as you're learning those things, write them
down.
I still have it in my book. I'll never get rid of it because it's such a baby witch thing, but it's my basic outline for a ritual and for an altar. It's this cutesy. I've ripped it out of my old BOS and taped it into my new ones and things like that because it's just so cute to have as the reference. But yeah, the basics. I
recopied the basics.
Where you write down,
so many times.
Light the divinity candle. All right. Cast the circle. You write things down because it's still new to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so it's okay. we understand that you're still learning. All right, and the big thing during this process is to do you, boo.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't get lost in how other folks do things.
I think one of the hardest parts of a new witch and not having a community is going to this bookstore or Amazon, whatever, and buying a book and then freaking out because you didn't have every single thing that the book said you had to have, and you didn't put it together exactly the way the book said you had to put it together. You don't have to.
Yeah,
if it didn't feel right to you.
Right now.
Yes, we're releasing you from that obligation.
Exactly.
It's okay.
And that's where, again, Google it. Start reading blogs.
Yes.
We've got some great witches out there that are putting up some great information. And lean into it. Start reading these blogs on the different ways of doing things. Don't rely on one source.
Yeah.
It's the Youve is one of the things that I think is not only the greatest benefit I ever got from witchcraft, but how it all works as well is trusting your intuition. Once you start doing that, it's a spiral of energy and trust, and you start believing in yourself, and it's such a gift that you get, but then that's how it all works. It's so amazing.
Exactly.
I think Youve is kind of the key.
Yes, and my next one is study.
Yes.
Go back to those elementals, those static knowledge I was talking about. You need to get that up in your head. All right? You need to learn it. Be able to comfortably cast a circle. Be able to comfortably move through a ritual. All right? And
maybe learn up on the gods that you're worshiping. Have a little bit. If you're
Learn
one
their
who's
stories.
if you're one who's
great
specific,
one.
who likes to worship a specific god, goddess, pantheon, deity, whichever. Maybe do a little bit of research into that firsthand so that you really can have that respect to those gods.
next thing, start getting you some tools.
Ooh,
Whatever
that's fun.
tools, however you find them, I've said it doesn't matter how they come to you as long as you recognize it as this is what I need. Whether you decide you need a wand, you need an athame, we have a list of fun things, all right?
We do.
You'll hear many times you don't need none of it, but we like having it. It is a way to help us visualize. It's a way to have a representation in the physical realm. The one thing I will say is you need to make sure you have a nice little fire-safe cauldron.
Yes.
So you can burn incense, so you can burn little pieces of paper, so you can burn herbs. All right? Just all sorts of things. Start getting the tools that you like. Don't worry about the list in the book. Nobody has the list in the book of tools.
No.
I don't even know if I have all the stuff that they have in those books. I'm like, I was
I have to dig. I don't know. You know, at one point or another, I start putting stuff in a box, and then who knows? Like, maybe I have all that stuff.
But if you think you want a wand and you're not sure, get one. Use it. See if you like it.
Yeah.
If you're not sure if you want a besom, a broom, get one. See if you like it. All right. It's not like it's written in stone. We write things on a chalkboard. You can erase it. Okay?
If it feels right, go with it.
Absolutely. Next thing I think you need to do, now that you're starting to get your witch on, you need to go to your kitchen cabinet, pull out the herbs that you have, and find out their magical associations.
Garlic is one of my favorites.
There are, like, everything in the cabinet is a magical.
Yes.
You already have an herbal cabinet, but you need to pull them out, write them down in your book. That journal we were talking about, what do I write in it? And write down the magical properties of what you're already using.
Yes.
That's great. That's a great.
That way, when you start cooking and creating in the kitchen, you're doing it mindfully. Now that we have magical knowledge, we're cooking.
Yeah.
You know? And as far as what is the first working spell I should do? Protection.
Yes.
If you're looking for some spell work and what am I supposed to be doing, start working on protection spells or protection workings, whatever. Because as you become more open, more aware, more connected, you're going to need the protection. So now's the time to start. All right. And there's all sorts of wonderful little protection workings out there. Do up a couple of different ones until you find the one that you really resonate with.
Yep.
But make sure you write what you used in your journal.
Write it in your journal. Can you tell
Write
that
it down.
this bit of knowledge is hard for lunch because we have not done that. And I've been kicked ourselves. Heartbroken.
Yes.
Heartbreak.
I can't say how many more little lines that I wish I wrote down because it was so darn good. And I'm thinking, ooh, I need to write that chant down. And then I don't write it down, and then like, oh, what were they chanting last night? What was that?
I'm getting better though. I'm
What was
getting
that
better.
chant? You know, all right. And the last thing that a baby beginner witch needs to do is set up an altar.
Yes. It can be a corner in your house. It can be a windowsill. It can be a table. It can be as big or as small as you'd like. It can be representations of beautiful statues of goddesses with incense and herbs and flowers, or it can be a bowl of pomegranates that you've got, maybe a bowl of sea salt that you've got as well too.
I've got a good one.
Ooh.
I have a friend who takes, you know how you get everything online in Amazon boxes? Well, she takes those boxes and she creates these little dioramas. She paints the inside of them, like beautiful colors, and hangs up those little fairy lights and puts little candles and branches. It's absolutely fabulous.
There are so many ways.
Exactly.
Find a little space, all right. And I know for some of you witches, that may be a shoebox that you pull out, like which Rebecca was saying, where you have a little box that has your stuff in it. Others of us are very lucky to be able to have dedicated altar space, all right. Whatever you have available, that's good. All right, there's no better, best, oh, you have this, I only have that. All altars to the divine are beautiful.
Yes.
And it will make you feel so good. In fact, it's my remedy. My first go-to when somebody calls me and says they're feeling down, I'm like, ooh, you know what? You should just go spruce up your altar and change it for the season.
That is so true.
It really changes your perspective, and it really focuses you where you need to be focused. I love doing that.
And it's something really on a new moon to do. Once you have your altar set up, the next new moon, go in and spruce it up and clean it up and everything. All right, witches, I think I had a good list.
Yeah, that
I think
was
y'all liked
very
it.
good. It was a great list. I love it.
As far as the new witches out there got to hear their reactions and their experiences, all right? Ultimately, do you, boo.
Yes.
And if you're doing what feels right, you are doing it the right way. The magic is within you. All right, witch? It's up for you to learn to speak that authentic voice that's already inside of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, you know the ending never changes. So I'll say it again because it's about I'm going to say something. I know I almost got down. I saw Dana was like, and then I messed her up. I wanted to give a quick thing because especially for you newbie witches, I was thinking, she's like, why is she saying these things? We're Crossroads witches. We welcome all witches. And for us, that's a global tradition. So we say amen to our Christian witches. All right. We say blessed be to our pagan witches. We say ashe to our South American, our Santeria, our Brujita witches. And of course, we say H.o.W because that's what the Haitian folk, when they're bringing down divinity and bring it in, that is part of that voodoo traditions. And there's witch folk standing there because I know some of them are my friends. And that's for you, girlfriend. So, of course, amen, blessed be, ashe, and H.o.W.